Mic's on. Okay. Dang. Good morning, market snipers. Welcome back. This is Jesse. Going to start right at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, right on the dot as usual. It's already Taco Tuesday. It's already Taco Tuesday. Yeah, we missed a lot of live streams, right? The holiday hangover is full effect right now. We'll see how we do. Get through this. Oh. See how we get through this live stream today. Could be interesting. Could be interesting. The title is no, stop. Uh the title is no. Hold on. Uh all right, there we go. So yeah, there we go. We got the happy holiday hangover. Just tired, right? Just tired. It's not like actually hungover from drinking or anything like that, but whew, whew. Thought I'd be able to live stream a couple times during the holidays, but we were out of town. We were with the family. I said I wasn't sure if I'd be able to live stream or not. Hope to, but you know, still dealing with the ankle situation. It's been 4 weeks, so it's healing, but still the mobility. Still got the 18-month-old toddler running around, so got to help out as much as possible. Want to help out as much as possible. Uh, so it makes it difficult when we're at her parents' house and the family's in town. Her family was in town. We were in town with her family all the way up in Sacramento. Uh, had to drive all the way up there because we had to bring, you know, the portable crib, aka the pack and play. It's a lot. 7-hour drive with an 18-month-old toddler. And on the way home, it was an 8-hour drive because they shut down the Interstate 5 freeway in California. Whew, long story short, it's been a lot. Followed by I won the fantasy football championship for the 6th time. It was our 20th year anniversary. I said at our live draft, I need to win the 20th anniversary championship because I said that the trophy would be twice as big for our 20th anniversary. So I won it. It was a 10th championship game that I was in. I've lost 4. I had only 5 wins, and now I have 6 wins, 4 championship losses, and I had to take out my dad in the championship game, who took out my older brother in the semifinals, who is was on the streak that I hadn't seen in a long time. 2 championships in a row for my older brother. He had a bye week, blah blah blah, and so Pops took him out, and I took out his son, my nephew, and then I took out my dad in the championship. So, so then long story short, long story longer, and then yesterday we went to Disneyland because my best friend and his wife and 4 kids were in town. 4 kids. So 4 of us adults, 5 kids, all to watch at Disneyland. It was a wild time. So it was tough. I had to rent a electric scooter. It was like $59, but that saved me, even though I still had to walk pretty far with the walking boot to and from the parking lot. But at least I had a motorized scooter at Disneyland yesterday, celebrating my championship. I won the championship, and then here we are. So, well, today's about the charts. That's just the back fill-in story of why no live streams. Spend some good quality family time. Spend some good quality friendship time with his family. So it was good stuff. Needed a lot of that. Because spend a lot of time on the charts. Spend a lot of time with market snipers, live streaming. So it's good to spend a lot of time with family and friends. kept an eye on the charts, but didn't post a lot. So, but we're gonna get back into it this week, and then heading into 2025, we'll build that momentum back up and look for new opportunities. Right. So I posted a new opportunity alert that we're gonna cover today as well. Can you please chart air swap? Yeah, Robbie, we can. Just because you put in all the details, but if there's not a lot of chart history, probably not gonna spend a lot of time on it. Sorry. Happy holidays. Thank you. Thank you. Happy holidays. Happy holidays. Equity if you have time today. Okay. Yeah. If there's a lot of chart history, I'll spend more time on it. If there's not a lot of chart history, then probably not. Won't spend too much time on it, but we'll take a look at it for sure. Happy holidays. Win Diesel. So yeah, got an opportunity alert on a stock that we're gonna look at. Found it on the Market Sniper screener and last week, and could see a bounce, at least a bounce on it. So could be a good bounce, but we'll take a look at it. We'll see what's going on. But let's get rock and rolling. Help me, help you, help me with the algorithms. Smash the like button, hit the comments, ask questions. We'll chart your stuff and share with your friends and family, and that helps out the algorithms on not only on YouTube but on X. So I appreciate that. And what else? What else? If you're new, awesome, welcome. If you're returning, even better. Good to see you back on here. Did I cover everything? Yep. All right. Here's the title: Pending, all caps, buy signal on Bitcoin. Relief rally? Question mark. So the pending buy signal has been flashing on and off all morning. And yesterday there was a pending buy signal. And there's been some pending buy signals over the last week or so. And so it's getting closer and closer to a buy signal versus, you know, dropping further first and then a relief rally. We said we would get louder and louder after bullish divergence. And there was sneaky bullish divergence. Here to here is actually sneaky bullish divergence. I was looking for bullish divergence from this pivot low and talked about that. We hoped for it. We hoped for it. We hoped for it. It would be a lot clearer of a relief rally. And I thought that that would be an easier and a bigger relief rally percentage wise. So we haven't seen it yet. It's still possible, but it seems like the probabilities are starting to increase that we're going to see the relief rally without taking out this low down here, right? So it's still on the table. It's just becoming less likely after this bullish divergence and this pivot point over here. It seems like it's become less likely. So if we get a buy signal and a candle close back above the trending dots, then the probabilities will have increased that the relief rally has started. And, then I was expecting a 30 to 40% bounce on the relief rally. So even from there, you have to go all the way from the pivot low. 30% takes you back up to 104. So we didn't go as deep as I was thinking as of yet. Like down to that 76,000 area. And then if it would have, or if it still does, then at $76,000, 30% brought you up to 99, and maybe even a 40% all the way up to 106. That would have been a great relief rally. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I mean, the other alternative is that it just continues to go sideways, which is not great for swing trading, right? If it just goes sideways forever, uh, that wouldn't be great for swing trading. So always, if the setup doesn't, if the setup is not there, you don't want to try to force it, right? Just go find another setup. There's always another setup somewhere else. There's a lot of get this charger out of my way. It's blocking my ankle, my foot. So if there's not a clear setup, then look for something else, right? That's my own personal opinion. Obviously, none of this is financial advice. Obviously, it's for educational purposes only. And hopefully we find a little bit of fun along the way, like making fun of me. I took an allergy pill, but I'm a little stuffed up. So hopefully it kicks in here. But that's where we're at right now. We're gonna look at, and why is this only a relief rally? Why is this only a bounce? Oh, it's simple. It's because of the higher time frames have flipped to bearish, and key reversals on higher time frames that we've been talking about since October, November, December. So in October, he still had the all the talking heads, and not just to pick on Tom Lee, but there's the Tom Lees, the Raul Powell, the MicroStrategies, the good morning, good morning, blessed for life. Good morning, welcome back. Uh, February it will be at all time low by then. What's going to be at all time low? I don't know what that means. Bitcoin all time low. That'd be less than $1. I don't know what you're saying. So anyways, if the setup isn't there, rather than trying to force it, let it come to you, right? So haven't tried to force it yet. Watching it closely, pending buy signal, pending buy signal, pending buy signal, and then there was another pending buy signal. So just staying patient, and if it doesn't feel right, then don't pull the trigger, right? Look for something that feels right. That's what I was trying to say. There's a ton of crypto assets. I don't even know how many there are. More than thousands, tens of thousands. Everyone and their brother made a altcoin, right? Pump Fund, right? There's all those type of websites out there. And there are thousands of stocks out there. There are precious metals, there's futures, there's option plays. Like there's so many different things you could be looking at for the right setup. Whether it's long or short, there are a ton of opportunities out there every day. There's a new opportunity every day, right? So if it doesn't feel right, that's all I'm saying is everyone wants to try to force a trade, right? They always feel the need to be in a trade or force a trade. And if you have your strategy set up, then you can find the next opportunity, right? So you have to have that strategy set up. And if your strategy is not working for you, find a new one, right? Or if you need to automate it more, automate your strategy, right? If you can't control your emotions and you can't block out the noise, you probably need to work on your automation. You could set up a trading bot, all that stuff, right? So if you need help with that, we can help you with that. We've never taken $1 of affiliate money, so we always do talk about our own stuff, and that's what we have. You can come over to the plans over here, and Sniper Elite includes everything. If you want to take a deep dive, we've added the 70 plus hours of recorded coaching videos. There's 77 videos on the portal now on the website. So you can log in, create an account, and you'll have 2 trading bots that we've rolled out so far. I've made 30, probably made more than 30 trading bots, and we'll eventually roll them all out. it just takes time because you got to double check the bugging. We had the holidays. We've been rolling out these other tools. So the dashboard we rolled out, it's in beta test, and eventually we'll do API connections with your broker, all that stuff. But we're gonna cross T's and dot I's. We're not going to just start rolling stuff out with all the bells and whistles. You got to test it. You got to go through all that stuff. You get the legacy sharpshooter candles 3.1 and RSI 2.0. The liquidity access, I have big plans for that one too. So we're going to be adding to that one. Of course, the private Discord community, and upgrade, downgrade, or cancel anytime, right? So you could this is truly the most popular. Like, most people are doing the $49, probably because of the coaching and the trading bots. Probably the trading bots number one, and then coaching number two. People are executing this one the most popular. I'm not just saying that. And then probably the annual pass is second, and then the rest, right? And then the 29. Probably we get some looky-loos at the $9 third, and then this is like the fourth plan, right? So that's just what we're seeing right now. I mean, obviously that could change, and maybe this won't be the most popular, but as of right now, this is truly the most popular. And just a quick glance, you got the screeners we're working on. We got the filters that I've got in there, liquidity, adding the intelligence. I mean, working intelligence, news. Haven't even rolled all this out on the website yet, right? So dashboard, liquidity, recorded coaching, screener, news, intelligence. None of that is even on the news and intelligence or the screeners, not even on this yet. So it's all coming soon. It's already on the portal, but we're just double checking it, crossing T's, dotting I's. I said when we rolled out the $49 a month, we only rolled out 2 trading bots. And I said we got more tools to come. And the people who jumped in on the $49 early, they trusted that we were going to roll out more tools. And we did. And you can trust me when I say this, that December is basically Black Friday month. We're going to be increasing the $49 a month. There's no way it makes sense to keep it at $49. We rolled out 2 trading bots at $49 a month. You'll never be increased on. It's a legacy pricing. It's legacy pricing. And if you ever saw where I rolled out $49 a long time ago, we increased it. We increased it and went all the way up to $79. We revamped everything. $49. If you were to lock in $49 a month, you'd be locked in for as long as you want at $49. Even if we have 10 tools and 30 trading bots, it would still be $49 a month if you locked in now. Once price goes up, you'd be locked in at that price, whether it's $59 or $79 or $99. What we're rolling out now, people charge $199 just for one trading bot, or $199 or $59 for a dashboard, or $59 for liquidity access, right? So once it's all rocking and rolling in 2026 with all of that stuff, right? We don't even have the news on there. It's going to be trading related news in real time trading news. You're not going to have to search multiple places. We're going to roll out stocks first. Intelligence. AI. It's all coming. It's all coming. Screener. I found one of our newest. I haven't been using it every single day, but I'm going to be using the screener every day. And I found one, right? I found a couple actually, but we're going to show one of them. Coaching videos were $79 a month. So the coaching videos for 49. We included the coaching videos. The coaching videos, in my opinion, are worth more than $79 a month. And it was $79 a month for like 3 years. But we decided to throw the recorded coaching in all for the $49. We're just like, oh, let's just do it. We're going automated. The recorded coaching videos is still for manual trading. If you want a manual trade, do it. So I agree, Mighty Kirk. You took advantage of the $49 recently, and I threw in the recorded coaching videos that we used to charge $79 a month. You used to get the recorded coaching and the 2 manual indicators for $79 a month. And we did it for $49. It's crazy. It's crazy. So $49, we threw in the recorded coaching videos. There's 77 videos, and I went all out. I went all out on it. I didn't pull any punches. I recorded the live coaching videos. I put so much time and energy into it, and it's well worth it. It's well worth it. By the way, this needs to be linked. I need to link it to the Discord, but once you register, you want to link it because you don't want to accidentally get kicked out. Obviously, I have an admin login, so it doesn't impact me, but it would tell you when the next billing is, and you can manage your own billing. You can upgrade, downgrade, and cancel anytime. You manage it yourself, right? So it's so much better than when I was, not only for me, but for you, when I was trying to manage it all myself manually. Like I was pretty good. I helped people within 24 hours, but now that it's so much better that you can just do it yourself. But yeah, the recorded coaching videos, in my opinion, is worth $79 a month. We added that. The dashboard, you know, it's early, it's beta testing, still probably worth like $20 to $30 a month. But when we have the API connection, it's gonna be like $50 a month. The liquidity access we're at right now is probably worth like $20 to $40, $20 to $30 a month, in my opinion. And where we're gonna go with it, people charge $79, $99, or not people, but companies charge $79, $99 a month. Where we're gonna go with it in the near future. The news, people pay $99 a month, $199 a month for what we're gonna get on the news. It's gonna be real time news, right? That you're not gonna have to search places for. It's all gonna be in the portal. The screener, what we're showing on what we're gonna show and have on the screener right now, it's probably worth like $20, but like based off of like the filters that I use, the advanced filters I use, at least $20 a month. And the intelligence, we'll see. We'll see. That's probably be a lot more, but rolling all that out. So it's a lot of work on the back end, and it's one of the reasons why we haven't rolled out the 30 trading bots. There's only so much time in the day. So we're still gonna roll out all those trading bots. We're gonna continue to build out the dashboard. We're gonna continue to build out the liquidity. Recorded coaching is done. I'm not recording any more recorded coaching videos. There's already 77. That's the only one that we're not going to keep trying to improve. We'll keep doing video, like shorter videos for, I don't call them the recorded coaching, but we'll continue to roll out videos on like using the dashboard, using liquidity, using the news, using intelligence, using the screener, like kind of like a best practices. So we'll do videos like that, and we'll post it in the Discord and maybe upload it to the recorded coaching, or the trading bots, stuff like that. So we'll do like video updates, but that'll probably be in the Discord. And if you're in the $49, it'd be a private channel within the Discord. So, but yeah, that's it. $49 does not make sense. When we rolled out the dashboard and the 2 trading bots, Alex is saying it doesn't make sense for $49. Since then, we've gone dashboard, we've gone liquidity, we added the recorded coaching, which makes 0 sense. We're just not making sense right now, but we're just doing it. We're just doing it. I'm like, let's just keep it. Let's just keep it. Let's just keep it. News, screener, intelligence. But my mindset's going to change soon. So I can already feel it starting to change. But yeah. Yep. Good morning, Arnold. Welcome back. So with that, let's get back into it. We're gonna go into no pending buy signal. No pending buy signal. There was a pending buy signal when I set up the live stream. And then like 10, 15 minutes before the live stream, there's no pending buy signal. But this is what we're watching, right? So it's broken this downward trend line. That was the more aggressive downward trend line we talked about. This is the less aggressive downward trend line. So you could have that another candle close above the downward trend line. That's a positive. Could be a candle close above the trailing dots. That would be a positive, right? We said it was in a downtrend until proven otherwise, right? We said that way back in here. Way back in here. It's in a downtrend until proven otherwise. Over here, just to be honest, I hoped, we said this every single live stream, we hoped for bullish divergence that would take price lower first, right? We hoped for that. It's still possible. It's just becoming less likely. We hoped for that first, like bullish divergence down here, then relief rally. That would be amazing. But we may not get exactly what we want in life, right? So you need to adjust in real time. You need to see the chart as it is, not as you hope it to be, bullish or bearish. You have to look at the charts with a clear lens. You can't have bullish fog or bearish fog on the lens. You have to see it as it is. And as it is, it broke and closed above the more aggressive downward trend line. It broke and closed above the less aggressive downward trend line. It did print bullish divergence. It could be putting in a higher low. If so, let's go. Sometimes we'll be cheesy. Don't worry. So, that's where we're at. You have to look at it. If you're gonna trade or invest, you have to have a clear, neutral market sniper lens. Can't be too bullish, can't be too bearish. At times, we have to check ourselves that we get too bearish or too bullish, right? There's warning signs early on. Not always, but often. When it's over, you can see the orange candles getting overbought. Sometimes when the magic happens, that's why we have a inside joke of a magic wand, which would probably be on the recorded coaching videos. We talked about it a lot, right? A lot. And then you have getting oversold candles, blue candles, oversold, right? And probably reversal candles along the way as well. I don't think I have that selected on the indicator, but if I select it on the indicator, it'd probably have reversal candles as well on there. So, and then after it was oversold, there's bullish divergence, right? Could be a higher low. That would be a higher probability that the relief rally continues onward. So that's what we're watching right now. We could be seeing a relief rally in the near future. Maybe it's 30%. Maybe it's 40%. Maybe it lasts 45, 60 days. Right now, it hasn't done much. We haven't seen much. It's been pretty much sideways since November 20th, right? So 40 days of sideways so far, right? Because even from here, from that point where it's at right now, 9% drop and a 7% increase. It hasn't done much from this price point on November 20th. So we're 40 days in from this point here, and it's only gone up 7% or down 9%. So this is when people want to start shorting it. They're late to the short party, and the bulls and the bears are both getting chopped up. We talked about it on the live streams a long time ago, starting out way down here that, I had a more exaggerated, chop city. Like, remember I had like a really exaggerated chopped up Max Payne scenario. This is also Max Payne, right? This is also Max Payne because it's like consolidating tighter and tighter and tighter, right? It's kind of how I see it. It's just getting tighter and tighter. So, maybe you see a move to the upside, and that would be like a better breakout. Uh it's also possible it breaks to the downside. So, we're just not there yet. We're just not there yet. Still possible it comes down to the bottom of the Wyckoff move. About 92 to 95% have been completed on Wyckoff, right? Because the wick came down to about 80,400 ish. And so to me, that completed Wyckoff, 92 to 95% of the distribution. If it still comes in lower, right? So it's still possible that after this consolidation, however the price action plays out, could break to the upside. It could also break to the downside. This is why I don't trade patterns by themselves, right? I don't trade patterns by themselves. I'll use them as ideas, um, but I don't trade patterns by itself. Obviously, after the bullish divergence, if we see a buy signal and we see back above the trailing dots, obviously I'm going to be leaning towards the relief rally. But it is still possible that it breaks down below and comes back down to this area. So that's the honest, clear chart that we're to like make sure we're unbiased, right? Make sure we're unbiased. So the way it's trending right now, I've switched from here to like now it's a higher probability that probably gonna break to the upside. But that's the great thing about it is could always be that fake out, right? So you gotta expect fake outs along the way. So that's what I say is like if it's not like very clear and everything lines up, then maybe you just look for another opportunity, right? So that's Bitcoin. And again, why is it only a relief rally or a bounce, Jesse? Well, it's because of the higher time frames. At some point, Bitcoin's going to retest the weekly trending dots. The weekly trending dots are already at 103,000. By the time next week comes around, it could be at 101, 2050. And the trajectory of it 2 weeks from now could be below $100,000, right? So below $100,000, maybe that's when uh, the weekly trending dots get retested and the bounce wouldn't be as high as what many hope for, right? So, not expecting new all-time highs. Why? The weekly chart is still bearish, right? Even when it was bearish over here, it still took time for the ship to get turned around, come back and retest the trending dots. So, still took time, even when it was in a bullish uptrend. Look at the 2-week chart, right? Still took time for the ship to get turned around. The difference is on the 2-week chart is we had a sell signal below the trending dots, and the trending dots have flipped red. This sell signal is when the trending dots were green and never had a sell signal after that, right? Red trending dots, sell signal under the trending dots, came back, retested it, retested the trending dots, which could be at like the 103 area again, in a month or so. And that's why I say it takes, 45 to 60 days once the bounce starts happening on the buy signal. But this is why I'm expecting price to come back and retest the 200-week moving average, just like it did June 2022. And just like I'm expecting it to happen again. And the 200-week moving average is at like $56,000 right now. Or what is it? What is it at? $57,050, right? It's a slow moving average. It's a slow moving average. So I'm expecting Bitcoin to retest the 200-week moving average before it makes a new all-time high. Because of the weekly chart, because of the 2-week chart, because of the 3-week chart, right? The higher time frames have flipped bearish. Never had a sell signal until the bear market. Below the trailing dots and a sell signal. Came back and retested the trailing dots before hitting the 200-week moving average. So these sell signals were above the green trending dots, right? So candle closed below the trending dots, first time since February 2023. So another reason why. Bearish divergence on the higher time frames, right? Go to the monthly chart. Had the RSI sell signal in November. Retested the trailing dots on the monthly chart. Only retested the trailing dots once it was back in a bear market. Battled the trending dots for 1, 2, 3 months, and then closed back below it back in April, and then May, and then June, came back and retested 200-week moving average. So 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, maybe the 4th month would be March, where it comes back down, closes back below here on a monthly candle, and then we see April, May come back down to the 200-week moving average. So maybe it's May 2026 that we see price retest, and maybe price is at $60,000 by then. So just as there was a buy signal back here in November, it's a slow moving, lagging monthly chart, right? So anyone calling for new all-time highs right now, they haven't studied the charts long enough, or they're doing it for clicks, or they're doing something to be, for the market bosses, right? So they're helping the market bosses for exit liquidity. That's like my conspiracy side of me. Or they're don't know what they're doing. That's like they're me giving them the benefit of the doubt. Like that's the least of the 3 evils. And so the worst is they're doing it on purpose for the market bosses to have exit liquidity. A lot of the retail out there, not market snipers, obviously. That's the worst case scenario. The second worst case scenario is that they know, but they're doing it for clicks, right? Because they're still being misleading. but they're doing it for like social media purposes, so it's not as bad, in my opinion, versus trying to use you as exit liquidity. And then the third is they just don't know what they're doing, right? There is no that we're going to go new all-time high this month, right? At least the charts don't say that. The probabilities, it would take time for the ship to get turned around. So if it makes a new all-time, here's where I could be wrong. If I was wrong, uh, if I was wrong and price is going to make a new all-time high before the 200-week moving average, it would still take time for the ship to get turned around, right? We're talking a long time for the ship to get turned around, in my opinion. So if the ship was going to get turned around and not hit the 200-week moving average before a new all-time high, it would be a while. It would be a while. And then maybe it comes down, right? So this would be more like that. If I'm drawing it out like that, it'd probably be more like this, right? So that's where I'd be wrong, in my opinion. And that would take 6 to 9 months or more to play out. So still wouldn't expect a new all-time high by the end of 2025, like many said that was. I still wouldn't expect a new all-time high end of January, like Tom Lee has changed his tune. I still don't expect a new all-time high all the way through most of 2026, right? So that's where I'd be wrong. But my thesis remains the same, that we're going to see price retest the 200-week moving average before a new all-time high. And in the past, Bitcoin has gone below the 200-week moving average 30% or more. So do I think the 200-week moving average is the bottom? Probably not. Probably not. But let's just take it level by level, right? Let's take it level by level. So let's not get ahead of ourselves too much. In the meantime, expect bounces along the way. Expect relief rallies along the way on Bitcoin. Even if there is no pending buy signal anymore as of right now, and even if there is a potential of further downside prior to relief rally, still on the table. Still on the table. So that's where we're at right now on Bitcoin, on the higher time frames, on the daily chart. Wondering if we get a relief rally for BTC miners before going lower. I mean, probably, right? Probably, but it's probably not what most would expect. And the thing about BTC miners, I've been talking about it since 2021 on X and so on. It's like catching lightning in a bottle. So you better know what you're doing if you're going to be trading BTC miners. They pump hard and they dump hard. So if you're good at hitting the buy button, but you're not good at hitting the exit button or the sell button, then you shouldn't be trading BTC miners, because yes, they can give you a quick 200 to 300% gain, and they could also give you a quick 60 to 70% loss. So I always said on the recorded coaching that I wouldn't be going all in on a BTC miner. It's high risk, high reward, higher risk than Bitcoin itself, higher reward than Bitcoin itself. It's basically like trading an altcoin, in my opinion. So err on the side of caution. And if you add options to that, you're adding fuel to the fire, right? So probably want to be on lower time frames too. But if you're going down to lower time frames from the daily chart, then add even more risk, right? Risk on risk on risk. Most people aren't ready for that. And if they are doing the risk on risk on risk, then they're most likely gambling versus looking for higher probability setups where you can get the return on your move, right? So, are you betting on one football game with no point spread? That's like buying spot Bitcoin, right? Are you buying a team wins and they have to win by point spread? That's like Bitcoin with leverage. If you're doing a 5-game parlay, that's like minors on options, right? If you're trying to win a 5-game parlay. So if you're comparing apples to apples on gambling, that's kind of the way I look at it. So there you go. There you go. There you go. Possible, but trade each chart individually first and foremost. Blessed for life. That's why I always say trade each chart individually first and foremost. So, whew. So that's Bitcoin. We're going to look at all the other charts too. We won't spend as much time on it, but we were going to go through some of the altcoins, stocks. We're going to look at the opportunity alert as well. What are we already at? 47 minutes that I've been live on the charts. So spend about 45 minutes with Bitcoin, and that's what we're kind of watching. Let's see, probably something's going to happen soon, though, right? I would imagine a bigger move is going to happen this week. Of course, the fake out could be to the downside as well, right? Could be the fake out like that, put in the bullish divergence, and then relief rally. So that's a possibility, and that would start like a bearish wick on the January monthly candle too. So that makes a lot of sense, actually. Still possible, right? Still possible. So three bearish monthly candles in a row. Trap some bears down here with additional bullish divergence, right? Or even over here. It's possible. It's possible. So fake out to the downside, maybe all the way down here, and then relief rally. So when there was a pending buy signal, I was starting to lean more towards the relief rally without further downside. But as it's disappearing in real time, those probabilities are decreasing as in real time. Girther King, wishing you a happy new year in advance. Thank you. Appreciate that. Happy new year to you and all the market snipers out there. Telcoin. We can look at it. So yeah. All right, let's get into it. Let's jump right into it. Ethereum. Not much has changed. Could see lower first. However, the price action plays out. It's still possible we see that bullish divergence. However, it plays out. The idea is still the same. You know, whether it comes up here, down here first, or that high or that low. You know, the idea is the same. The idea is, however, this plays out here, if there's bullish divergence followed by a higher low and then a breakout, right? So bullish divergence, a higher low at some point. That's the most important. However it plays out, right? It'd be like that. So if we do see that bullish divergence first, higher low breakout, that would be that might be a worthwhile setup. So we'll see. XRP does have that bullish divergence. XRP could have that higher low. So flip the trending dots with a buy signal. That relief rally could be all the way back to the trending dots up here. Again, still might not be as high as what most people hope for, but maybe 240, maybe it wicks to 250, maybe it comes all the way back to this pivot point up here at 252. All possibility, right? With a wick at least. Chain link, bullish divergence, possible higher low. Cardano, bullish divergence, even getting picked up on the indicator over here. So you got bullish divergence. Um, bullish divergence. So we'll see if we get the higher low on that. Algo. I don't think there's bullish divergence on Algo. There is not. There is not. So no bullish divergence on Algo. XLM, bullish divergence. No bounce as of yet. There could always be additional bullish divergence. So we'll see. We'll see if we get some sort of a bounce back into the weekly trading dots. Not much support is holding over here right now. So, but it has been in a long correction phase since July 2025. To say that altcoins are due for a bounce is an understatement. Does it mean we're going to see one? No, it does not. MicroStrategy, who would have thought that we're going to come all the way back down to the 200-week moving average, which is at 144? Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Bearish engulfing candle over here. I put this out back here on November 21st, 2024. Is the top in question mark? And in hindsight, it was the top. And if you go to the weekly chart, MicroStrategy is the canary in the coal mine. MicroStrategy has been in a bear market. MicroStrategy has been in a bear market since November and hit prices and dropped more than almost 72%. Has almost retested the 200-week moving average. 58 weeks or 400 and something days, right? And the bottom most likely is not in, right? Could we see a relief rally? Yes, we could. Could we see the relief rally into the trailing dots? Yes, we could. Then could we see it retest the 200-week moving average? Sure. Could it retest it first? Sure. we don't have a magic crystal ball, but the last weekly sell signal was over here at 357. Since then, it's been down only, right? Bearish engulfing candle over here, right? Adam and Eve double top pattern. There's a weekly close below this pivot point, a weekly close below the confirmation line, right? Similar to chop suey. I know that's supposed to be funny. Getting oversold on the weekly chart. So we could see a bounce at some point, retest the trailing dots, then come back down. And then if it played out similar to 2022, 2023, this is symbolizing that it could be in a bear market for much longer than what people hope for. So, and if this pattern plays out price-wise, it's possible we see MicroStrategy be below $100. That 157. That sounded crazy back here when it was at above 300, when it was above 325, and when it was above 350. It sounded crazy. It no longer sounds crazy, right? Now everyone's like, oh, yeah, it's going to. Okay, cool. Well, that was only 71% later that now you're saying it's going to be retesting the 200-week moving average, right? So that was my main thesis. That was going to come back and retest the 200, and that was proven to be right again. Not yet, but I mean, we're literally within like a drop of 7%. So give me a break. It's not done yet. Maybe a local bottom for a bounce, dead cat bounce, whatever you want to call it, relief rally, dead cat bounce, bounce, blah, blah, blah. You can call it what you want. But this is the canary in the coal mine for Bitcoin again. I posted this a long time ago. Posted back in October, posted on the bullish upside, not only the canary in the coal mine to the downside, but to the upside as well. So talked about it back here when Bitcoin was at $65,000. MicroStrategy already broke out to the upside and hit some higher targets, and Bitcoin is at 65,000. And sure enough, Bitcoin went higher, made a new all-time high, right? So we're still watching the canary in the coal mine, still watching price come back all the way down to the 200-week moving average. So NASDAQ, SP 500, right? So this is kind of like a Wyckoff distribution idea, similar to how Bitcoin played out. It's still possible, but it is starting to get very top heavy over here. Starting to get very top heavy. Could there be one more wick up here to take this out? Sure. Sure, it could, right? Could it put in a lower high over here? Sure. Sure, it could. Could there be additional bearish divergence? There is bearish divergence over here. Sure. Sure, it could. SP 500 took out the all-time high, very similar to Bitcoin. Remember, Bitcoin was the canary in the coal. MicroStrategy was the canary in the coal mine for Bitcoin. Bitcoin was the canary in the coal mine for the SP 500 and the NASDAQ back in 2021, right? Fact, not fiction. It looks like it's the canary in the coal mine again. So it's an idea until it unfolds in real time. But that could be Wyckoff distribution on SP 500. Very similar to Bitcoin. And we called it out very similarly. Actually, we called it out in advance because we said it could do something similar to Bitcoin. And then now, after this new all-time high, we're right about the same time as when I posted the Wyckoff chart for Bitcoin, right? I posted this Wyckoff chart when Bitcoin was at 123,700, October 8th. So it was a couple days later. And now we're at 2 days later, a couple days later. So I may have to post another Wyckoff chart. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I'm not sorry. So a lot of similarities. A lot of similarities. What else? Gold daily chart. Probably bearish divergence. Bearish engulfing candle. RSI sell signal. So maybe there's some consolidation. I wouldn't be shorting gold. Like if you're going to be locking in profits, that's one thing. But I wouldn't be shorting gold because the higher time frames are still ultra bullish, right? There is bearish divergence on the weekly chart. So could be letting the trailing dots catch up. Could come back for a retest of the trailing dots. So there is bearish divergence on the weekly chart, starting to show some signs of slowing down, right? Still ultra bullish on the 2-week chart. I would not be shorting here. Obviously not financial advice. I would not be shorting looking like that. However, it could have printed bearish divergence. So could this be the top? Sure, it could be. Could it just be a local top and we go on to see additional bearish divergence? Yes. It is very ultra, very, very, very ultra bullish on the 2-week chart. So, me personally, I wouldn't be chasing this. And me personally, I won't be shorting it, right? I would need a clear signal, and it's ultra bullish. Could it close below and start to have a sell signal in the near future? RSI sell signal in the near future on the 3-week chart? Yes. Could it come back for a retest of the trailing dots? Yes. Consolidate for weeks or months? Yes. Sideways? Yes. All of the above. The monthly chart is still ultra bullish. It's too early to call it. And even if it does go through consolidation, timing wise, right, that could still put in a new all-time high, right? Letting the trending dots catch up, letting the moving averages catch up, right? It's still ultra bullish as of right now. And if you went to a really, really lagging time frame, it's not going downward on the 3-month. It's still on a strong uptrend on the 3-month. Now it's really lagging. So take that for what it is. But it's still, maybe this is a peak, but it's too early to call it. It's still ultra bullish, right? What if this was the peak? What if that was the peak? What if that was the peak? This was the peak. Right? So you could see while it's ultra bullish, what if that was the peak? What if that was a peak? Those are all local tops with retracements on the daily chart. Okay. So it depends on what you're playing. What if that was the peak and it wasn't? And then there was bearish divergence on the 3-month chart, then went into a long cup and handle, bowl and handle, whatever, for a long time, a very long time, right? Then had this breakout. We're talking years, decades, right? So it's 3-month chart. So, anywho, could be a local top, but to call it the top is way too early. Way too early. The top starts with the local top, but the higher time frames remain ultra bullish. So too early call the top, in my opinion. Silver, RSI sell signal bouncing, not quite a bearish engulfing candle. So starting to show signs, but there's no bearish divergence. Weekly chart is still ultra bullish. Can't see it. Still ultra bullish. It's going parabolic. The dips are getting bought up at $70 on the weekly chart, right? Again, me personally, I wouldn't be chasing this move here. Like we talked about it on the live streams. This is probably a buy the dip scenario, not that the top was in. In hindsight, that was true, right? So we were talking about even over here that the top probably isn't in, that it's still most likely a buy the dip scenario, and at least put in bearish divergence. In hindsight, that was true. Why? Not because I have a magic crystal ball, but because the higher time frames are ultra bullish, right? Ultra bullish still. 2-week chart. Ultra bullish still. So it's still the buy the dip scenario, right? Still ultra bullish on the 3-week chart. Still ultra bullish on the monthly chart. Wild. 91 RSI on the monthly chart, not seen since uh 1980. 1980. So this parabolic move hasn't happened since 1980. Yeah, there was a parabolic move here, but as far as like RSI getting as high as 91, and in 1980 it went as high as 98. So it might not be done. Son, 3-month chart. RSI is at 87. Hit 87 back here in 2011. Hit 96 back in 1979 on the 3-week chart. And it still went one more 3-month candle higher with the wick and then bearish engulfing. So that's wild, right? What that would look like is if it did something similar, it means price would come all the way up like we have it at 103 and reverse all the way back down to like 46, consolidate for a long time, and then maybe, just maybe, in 2031, it goes up to $500. Nuts. That'd be nuts. But let's keep going. I'm going to look at Oracle, up 1.24%. So updated December 21st. So that's when I put this out, right? I think it was, yeah. Yeah. So I found this on the screener with, or someone messaged me in the Discord. Hold on one second. Yeah. So found this on the screener, and the purpose is to find it before the bounce, before the move, right? So the advanced screener options, could you use the same advanced screener options on some other screener out there? Of course you could. Of course you could. But obviously when we roll out the screener, right? I'll tell you what I use to try to find these. And, this was Oracle was 195.7, updated December 21st. So posted this on the 22nd, right? Pretty sure it was 22nd on a Monday. Probably didn't post it on a Sunday. Oh no, it was probably based off of Friday, and so I probably did post it before that. I don't know. I remember. It's on X somewhere. Just search for it. But anyways, there is bullish divergence getting picked up. And that was a pretty big drop. And it's been consolidating since that peak in September. So that was a 69 days and 49%. So it's probably not going to make new all-time highs, but a relief rally or a bounce seems like it's on the horizon. We had an RSI buy signal again. This could be the higher low after the bullish divergence. It's already broken out of the downward trend line. So probably going to see a bounce on Oracle, maybe just back up to the trending dots because the weekly chart is bearish. So ideally we would find this like it would help us find the whole purpose is to find more stocks. It's going to roll out as a stock screener at first, and then we'll add crypto to it. But I think the value is in stocks first. And so if we found a stock similar to Bitcoin breaking out at 16,800 or Meta breaking out at like 135, 145, that's what the purpose of the screener with our advanced settings. And it's only going to get better from there. So expecting a bounce on Oracle And, what would that look like, right? So, even from here, eyeball tests, maybe it's like target one, target two, target three. Oh, that's terribly drawn line. Target four, right? So, okay, cool, Jesse. That doesn't sound great. Well, you know, still, right? Even if you get a buy signal and close back above uh the trending dots, 45%, right? And if you put the stop loss down below there, that's a 4-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So 11% or 45%. You could even make the stop loss tighter. You could probably go here. But if you just wanted to let it breathe, like you're wrong at that point. So if you're risking $1,000 with no options or anything, like if you just kept it like super simple, 45%. That's almost a 3-to-1. This is an eyeball test, first of all. 2-to-1, right? And a 1-to-1. Or not really. 1-to-1 would be like 219. So it seems like a low risk increase. So if you did $1,000 and say it did a 2-to-1 ratio, that's 20%. So that's $200 probably in a short period of time on your $1,000, right? So if you made $200 in 30 days or less, did the screener help you? Right? And that's included into the $49 a month. So these tools are getting built out for a reason, right? The tools are getting built out for a reason, not just to look fancy on a website or the portal, but to actually help market snipers make money. What is the point of doing it if you're not going to make money? If you're not going to get a return on your investment of the $49 of your time, of that. So the purpose of the screener is put us into positions like this. And like if it narrows it down to 10, 15 stocks, then you go through and chart it, right? Then you could manually trade it yourself, or you could set up the trading bot to have it wait for a buy signal above the trending dots with the filter, right? There's multiple filters. You could set the trading bot to automatic take profit. The challenge with the trading bot and just being realistic with stocks is that you wouldn't be able to do the daily candle close because it doesn't close until the market's closed. So that's the downside of stocks, right? One day they'll probably trade stocks like they do futures or crypto, where it's more often, and then the daily signal would be okay. So you'd probably have to do, like, if you're going to do the trading bot, you'd probably have to do like a lower time frame for the actual trigger. So that may need to put on, like, for stocks, may need to put on like we may need to add like some sort of a filter to, like, okay, if the daily chart is XYZ, then trigger the 2 hour chart. I mean, that would get very complicated, but I could probably figure it out, but it would take me some time. And then it has to be coded, right? So it makes me tired just thinking about it. But we will continue to go down the rabbit hole of automation and getting us put into these type of scenarios where maybe you don't ever want to short. There's some people that never want to short an asset. Okay, cool. You don't have to. You could do longs only, right? You could come over here and you could do inputs and you could do trade direction, uh, long or only short. Like if you hate longs, right? Only short, but you're like, oh, let's only do longs. Let's use dot. Let's use the noise filter. Let's use the time filter. Let's do automatic take profit, blah, blah, blah. All that stuff, right? Uh, there's so many different ways you could set this up. So if you're like, I never want to short an asset, cool, don't. I'm not trying to convince you to. You can customize it to whatever you want. So customize it to ticket longs only. I could care less. That's your choice. My purpose is to like not only help myself uh automate everything and continue to dial it in more and more, but also help you. So help me, help you, help me. Uh I've been saying for 3.5 years, a lot of the money that has come in for subscriptions, I've reinvested way too much back into these tools. And it doesn't look like I'm slowing down anytime soon. What I have on the wish list is crazy. The wish list that's getting worked on every single day, this will be a one-stop shop, fully automated. Maybe someone out there will be better on individual aspects of the portal. Maybe someone's liquidity is going to be better. Maybe someone's dashboard, they only do the dashboard. Their dashboard would probably be better. If they only did recorded coaching, I don't think they're going to be better. That's the one thing. That's the one thing. The news, I'm sure somebody will do the news better. Intelligence, I'm sure if they only focused on intelligence, maybe someone's intelligence would be better. If they only focus on the screener, maybe the screener would be better. But this is actually going to be geared towards market snipers, right? So maybe not. But when you add it all together, and we're not going to go deeper on recorded coaching. I'm pretty much done with that. We're going to go deeper on the dashboard. I got some crazy ideas. We're going to go deeper on the liquidity for sure. We're going to go deeper on the news, even though I don't trade based off of news. There's some things that, like, if you're day trading or scalping, and I'm going to probably be going deeper and deeper into that myself, because I feel like I'm leaving money on the table with the trading bots and stuff. We're going to probably incorporate news and sentiment into it, and intelligence. We're going to continue to go deeper into intelligence and the screener. So all of these, except for recorded coaching, going to go deeper and deeper and deeper. So if someone only focused on one of them and they charge you $50 to $100 or $200 for one aspect of it, they could probably make it better. But when we're going to go deep on all of them over time, I don't think you're going to get a better value. The whole point is we will always try to outperform what we charge. Always. And this is my obsession. This is my passion. This is my obsession. This is my passion. This is my obsession. So I'm obsessed with the charts. I'm obsessed with swing trading, and I'm obsessed with automation. And I've been obsessed with automation for 3.5 years. Once I saw that, like, people with a great strategy, people still don't execute it, their own strategy, because of emotions. So, yeah, we're gonna cover it right now. But we got a little sidetracked. We want to cover Oracle. We're not done yet. Relax. What do you got? You got somewhere else to be? This is the only place to be right now. This is the only place. Only thing that matters. How's my hair? It's all right. It's okay. My hair's okay. What? Oh, don't remind me. That make you. If you know my personality by now, if you're reminding me or being, don't be annoying. I'm laughing. I'm not annoyed, but don't get annoying, right? If you do get annoying, then there's that fight in me where I push back, and then I won't do it just out of like, I'm not doing it. Like, I'm stubborn, right? I'm very stubborn. So I'm not annoyed though, but just don't annoy me. Don't remind me 3 or 4 times, then I'll be annoyed. One reminder is good. One reminder is good. Cool, 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 cool. Sometimes I ask you to remind me, but what else? All right. Well, we'll come back. So we'll come back and we'll go down the list in order, right? So yeah, we'll come back. We'll come back. But this is the opportunity alert for a bounce. And even if it only hit one target, it's pretty much a one to nothing if I mapped it out. If it hits 2 out of 4 targets, it's like a 2 to 1. If it hits 3 targets, it's probably a 3 to 1. If it hits all 4 targets, it's probably a 4 to 1 risk to reward ratio or more. So expecting a bounce in the near future, bullish divergence. I mean, I don't care about the positive earnings, but the positive earnings. Uh, so, and of course, I could be wrong and it goes higher, but the weekly chart is still bearish as of right now. So, the weekly training dots gets you to about 2 out of 4 targets. So be aware of that. So if you risked $1,000, right? It's about $200, right? So there you go. If you don't have $1,000 to risk on stocks, like the $49 is still worth it. You would just have to do more trades. Like if you only had $100 because there's other costs involved, like $49 a month, then you only had $100. Well, you'd have to find this setup, $20. You'd have to find this setup and execute it 3 times per month to make money, right? So just think about that though. You need $100. You have to find a similar setup 3 times and execute them to pay for the $49 a month. You don't have to be a full-time trader or a day trader or anything like that. This could be swing trading 3 times per month to make money. Would it be worth your time? Probably not. For $100, but you got to start somewhere, right? And then, of course, if you got $10,000 and you're not using leverage or anything, you're on stock only, right? That one setup per month is 2,000. So that's where I'm going with this. That it's as we roll all this out, there's no way it's going to remain $49 a month. So if you have a really, 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 really small account, this is your chance to like improve upon it before the prices go up. Because once prices go up, it'll no longer make sense to have $100 account. You're going to need at least $1,000 probably. So anyways, but ideally you have 10,000 or more, right? If you're not going to be trading with leverage. If you're trading with leverage, it becomes more risky. Let's keep going. I got some other things to talk about. The dollar could be bottoming. We talked about that back here on the 23rd. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Dang. I had an allergy pill, the whole deal. So the 23rd, here we are a week later, right? So if it does break out, I might have to call it soon, so I'm going to hurry up. Could come up. These targets are still valid. This could be a higher low. Could come back up, put another higher low, break out, hit target 2. Let's go. And then maybe even target 3 up here, 200-week moving average. So that's that. Lemonade catching a bounce here, but there was bearish divergence. So could be coming back to fill some of these gaps. Still bullish on the higher time frames. So when the opportunity presents itself, I still think it's a buy the dip scenario. Someone asked me about the miners, but maybe out of the 3 that we just looked at, there is bullish divergence. So maybe there could be a bounce scenario. Just as a couple ideas. Labu, bearish divergence, and there was a pending sell signal earlier. So could be that scenario where comes back to let me redraw this. Comes back to so you got the bearish divergence, right? Comes down, puts in a lower high, comes back down, retests it, maybe even lower, and then takes off after that, right? So it's possible. High risk, high reward. Could be breaking down from that trend line. Could come back up for a back test of it with the sell signal, lower high, come back down, retest the 200-week moving average, right? Maybe even dip below it because it's high risk, high reward, and then could be the next big move, right? So that's kind of the way I see it. And however the price action plays out over time, right? So could take some time to play out. But that's Labu. Let's switch over to Magnificent Seven, right? Meta still bouncing. You got that new gap up here. Miniature gap was already filled. Oops, I always do that. Small gaps down here. This is what we are talking about way back. No, way back. This setup back here when I had the best friend who I just saw at Disneyland. The weekly chart was flipping bullish. The daily chart was already bullish. And even though there was negative earnings, 3 negative earnings in a row, I didn't care. I said, hey, the weekly chart is flipping bullish. Looks like the bottom is in. And then he bought it at 140, 145, right? But would that screener tell us back here? That's what I'm thinking, right? Can't go back in time with the screener, but looking for like that Oracle setup with bullish divergence, like back here, right? And then catch move way down here. So that's the hope, is that we find moves down here, like on Meta, and then ride it for as long as possible, right? Or swing trade it, right? So I'm not saying Oracle is going to be that because it looks completely different. Oracle looks more like over here where maybe there's bullish divergence and it bounces. And that bounce is, no, that's not that great of a bounce, but from wick to wick, 20% bounce. But Meta is a bigger market cap, I believe. I don't know. But anyways, put us in front of those situations. But you could do the opposite and put yourself into short positions if you're more into that. Over time, I think the bullish setups will win. Short setups will give you the biggest gain quickly, but over time, the long setups will probably outperform, most likely outperform. So that's Meta, could be bouncing here. UNH still has a pretty big gap up there. Still well below the 200-week moving average, so it could come back for a retest of that at 480. Microsoft, tiny gap at 536. Could be putting in a lower high somewhere up in here. Tesla, could that be that Wyckoff moment similar to Bitcoin? That's what we were talking about. Could be that bearish divergence. Could be that Wyckoff taking out the double top over here, and then it reverses back down. So it's possible that's a Wyckoff distribution set up on Tesla. We're gonna go a little bit faster on the Magnificent Seven. That's come a lot more. Google, still similar thoughts. SQQQ, the inverse of the NASDAQ, still similar thoughts. Could come back down for one more. Someone asked me about Nebius Group. SMCI still in a bear market. QQQ, SPX, NASDAQ, TQQ, NVIDIA, Apple, right? What else? Netflix, Russell. We talked about that. Seemed like it was leading the way for the NASDAQ and the SP 500, where it put in that new top. So bearish divergence, corrected, came all the way back up. Wyckoff distribution written all over it, lower high, breakdown, and here we are. This looks like Wyckoff deja vu to Bitcoin. So leading the way, similar to Bitcoin. So that's the Russell 2000, probably coming in lower. What else? Palantir, top heavy, bearish divergence, possible lower high, pending sell signal. ANF. Now that's a short squeeze. Now that is a short squeeze. So let's see. Is that better? Yeah, we're back. We're back. We're back. Hopefully it didn't hit the mic. It's all good, Win Diesel. Hey, it was only a second reminder. It's only a second reminder. You're good, my man. You're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. Cool, 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 cool. We're running our own indicators. So sharpshooter candles 3.1, sharpshooter RSI 2.0. It's all on the website. It's our own indicators and our own trading bots. So we built indicators off of a strategy. We didn't build a strategy off of indicators. But now in the trading bots, you can build strategies off of the trading bots. So and keep an eye on this one, because that was such a move that if that is a top and it puts in a lower high, something like that, that could be something to pay attention to. It's like, or more aggressive, right? More aggressive, but that's quite the short squeeze. And there's a big gap down here. So, I mean, that was massive from here to here. That's 100% move in 23 days. 100%. So if you had $1,000, you just made $1,000 in 23 days. Now, it gapped and ran, right? It gapped and ran. So if you had the trading bot on, it would have missed the stock buy signal on the daily chart, because it closes first and it wouldn't trigger the trading bot after hours on stock. Crypto would. That's a 46% move. So you would have had to drop down to like a 4-hour or a 2-hour chart for it to trigger, right? So let's see, that was, so the 2-hour chart would have triggered most likely, right? 2-hour chart, 50% move, or even if you took profit here, 15%, it'd be pretty hard to lose money on this trade, on this one, right? Just as an example. So there you go. There you go. But you probably wouldn't have bought back here. Like if you bought here and then it wiped you out, right? You probably wouldn't have bought here. You probably would have had to buy here and then gap and go. Like just to be truthful, like you probably wouldn't be buying down here. Buy signal, gap and go, right? So I think that's it. We're going to cover the chart requests. AST air swap. We can always count on Robbie for some crazy one I never heard of. Maybe it's not even crazy. Maybe we're just air swap. So obviously this is crypto. Coinbase. Okay, you did say that. USD. Okay, got it. Yeah, thanks for putting in all the details, Robbie. Appreciate that. Because let's get off the 2-hour chart. Because that way I can search for it and we can chart the right one. Wow. At least there's chart history on this one. Kind of. Well, since 2024. No, 2023. Yeah. There's chart history on this one. So it looks like the all-time high was March 2024, and it's been in a bear market ever since. So you're probably so I would assume that you're looking for a bounce or a buy opportunity, but it's down 95%. And weekly chart, let's see. There is bullish divergence at the bottom as of right now, but it could disappear, right? It's already coming down. So there is bullish divergence. There's something to keep an eye on. It's just too early. Of course, altcoins can flip in a heartbeat, but you do have bullish divergence that has formed. You do have bullish divergence. So something to keep an eye on. So if you did see like a higher low, that'd be a higher probability. And of course, a higher high too. Just seems like, let's see there. Then we're gonna finish this up. So that's probably more like, if you get that higher low and break out, you could probably see a higher bounce from there. So there are some positives forming with the bullish divergence, but it's bearish on the daily chart. It's bearish. It's ultra bearish on the weekly chart. So you have to assume it's going to go lower. It is oversold on the weekly chart, but even if it bounces, it may only come back into the weekly trending dots. Bearish on the 2-week chart. So that's about it. Higher time frames are still bearish. Daily chart is still bearish, still below the trending dots. You would need get back above here, back above the trending dots, back above the downward trend line, blah, blah, blah. So hopefully that helps. Yeah. VG, Venture Global Equity. I'm assuming that's stock. Yeah, so you have the bullish divergence going all the way back. Looks ripe. Yeah, so you have the bullish divergence, close above the trailing dots, buy signal, sell signal, but above the trailing dots. You got a gap up here. It's possible it comes back for a back test of the trailing dots, 649. Who knows if you're going to hold through that or not? And then comes out like that, right? If you're already in it to win it, when you're in a buy signal, are you, just letting the trending dots play out? Like, say you got in at the last buy signal, and you're like, oh, I'm just gonna put the stop loss below here, let it come back to the trending dots as well, and then who knows where it's at? Like 4-1. Eyeball tests would put you at like maybe one target here, 2, 3, 4 targets, maybe lines up with the gap. Looks like a big gap. Let's measure it out. So wick to wick, 14%. Call it 15% gap, right? So you got a 15% gap here. Gasp. Do you have a 15% gap? That'd be a 4-1 risk to reward ratio at the current buy. You may see some short-term pain down to 654. It's possible to get stopped out as well. Let's look at the weekly chart. Weekly chart is still bearish. Trending dots are at 944, probably around target 2-ish. Kind of makes sense. So it would be a caution if you're buying, and you would want to all your take profits. The trending dots on the 2-week chart, it's up near target 4. Maybe by the time it happens, it's up by target 3. So it could wick up and close that gap at 1247. 3-week chart is up there around target 3, target 4 as well. Could wick up, close that gap. Not a ton of chart history because it's not even showing up. So not even a 200-week moving average. So since it's IPO January 2025, it's been down only. This could be one of those dead cat bounce scenarios, but it could go through a long bottoming phase. So if there is a bounce, like if it does come back and bounces, could come back, right? Could come back. Before it ever flips around really bullish, right? So just be aware of that. Yeah, it could hit 2 targets, come all the way back down. Could hit 3 targets, come all the way back down. Come all the way up, hit the. We don't know when the gap is going to get filled, right? You'd be looking at 3 months. That's very optimistic, right? The way the higher time frames look right now could be something like that, right? So it's got a lot of work to do on the higher time frames. If you're just doing a swing trade, then maybe it does this and comes up, hits the second target, and then comes back down. So that's kind of the way I would see it right now. And anything above that would be, bonus. Fill that gap would be a bonus, right? Because this is probably the way I feel about it more, with the higher time frames being bearish. So hopefully that helps. Vin Diesel. I always want to do Vin Diesel. Win Diesel. Tell. Gertha King. Are you still here? You love Tell coin. Oh, you love Tell coin. Mhm. Uh, you didn't specify what exchange. Let's just do Qcoin then. Oops. So Telcoin was kind of leading the way uh when we covered it. What is happening? Oh, there we go. Uh had the RSI buy signal over here, right? RSI buy signal, bullish engulfing candle, continued to consolidate, and then had the buy signal in the breakout on November 12th, and then it consolidated. This could be a higher low above the 200-week moving average. We already had another RSI buy signal. So that would be more aggressive, right? Currently, price is above the trading dots. Could see another buy signal in the near future. Um, if you see another buy signal, like somewhere around in here, and it breaks out of here, could be seeing these longer term targets start to get hit, right? So it's got a little bit of work to do, but it's already done some work, breaking on this long term downward trend line, consolidating again, right? So definitely something to keep an eye on if you're all about Telcoin. Let's look at the weekly chart. The weekly chart did get back above the trailing dots. Did break out, come all the way back tested the 200-week moving average like one more time. So if the weekly chart starts flipping around, getting back above about the same area, 0.00449 ish, somewhere around there, then could start to see a bigger move on Telcoin. It's getting pretty tight to the 200-week moving average. It's not like it's far away from the. I'm sorry. Uh, it's not like it's far away from the trailing dots. It's getting tight, 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 and then all of a sudden there's a buy signal on the weekly chart above it. Uh, it's getting tighter. Buy signal pumped up, consolidated. Another buy signal came back down. So something to keep an eye on. If you start getting back above the trading dots with another buy signal on the weekly chart and the daily chart and all that, and it's up around that 0.0048, could start to see that bigger move on Telcoin, right? Could. So might take a week or two, but if it does, you can see like January. But however the price action plays out, this would be a better opportunity, right? However it plays out. That's right. But it is currently above the trailing dots on the daily chart. The weekly chart is closer to the trailing dots, so those are all positive signs. Um, yep, you got it. Okay. Yep. Because there's also very interesting development going on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's been hammered. It's been consolidating forever. So has not made a new all-time high. since May 2021. This has been a brutally long bear market for many, right? So probably a lot of holders up in here. Probably holders over in here. So are we going to see a bigger bounce, maybe hit longer term target 2 or target 3 or target 4? Sure. It's possible. So we'll find out. It's starting to look like it's starting to flip around in the right direction. So we'll see. We'll see. Woo! With that, the holiday hangover is real, but it's good to shake it off this week and make myself go a little bit longer. And we went for almost 2 hours with the live charts, and so shaking off the cobwebs right now, and we'll get back into the groove. Probably by tomorrow, probably be back to normal, right? But it's good to go a little bit extra, a little bit longer, get all the rust off, cover the charts, go deep, and just win championships, baby. Just win championships. Fantasy football. If I could just manage the Vikings, I feel like we would win championships. Maybe not the first year, maybe not the second year, but I feel like we would win championships. I would put a lot of tools onto it, but that's never going to happen. I'm never even going to try out to be the general manager, but I feel like I would win a championship. Not only my own league, 10-time, I've made the championship 10 times in 20 years, but I ran my older brother's team when I was in my early 20s. And I drafted his team and all that. He wanted me to I won a championship for him in his league, my early 20s. He was like late 20s. It was a long time ago. Fantasy football didn't have all the tools that it had now. I won him a championship in my old fraternity brother league that I don't do because not everyone participates. I won a championship in that league. There's been times I require everyone to live draft in our fantasy football every single year in 20 years. And for extenuating circumstances, every once in a while, I have to draft a team for our league owners and they manage it. But there's been 2 teams that I drafted that beat my team in the championship. I didn't manage the teams. My wife managed one, and my best friend managed the first year team. But both of those teams beat my team in the championship, and other teams, a couple other teams I had to draft for other owners made the playoffs. So I have a pretty good eye for it, but it's just a hobby on the side for fun. I don't spend too much time on it. But with that, we'll continue to sniper the markets together. Thank you for all of your support. I appreciate all of you, and we'll see you tomorrow on the next live stream. Probably not going to go as long as today. Try to keep it to about an hour and keep it rocking and rolling. And now that the rust has been knocked off, we played through the pain of having the holiday hangover. Now there's no excuses tomorrow. No more holiday hangover. Let's rock and roll and continue to sniper the markets together. So with that, thank you. Have a good rest of your day. We'll see you on the next one. Adios.